Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu. Uh, Today we're going to do a reading from the Holy Quran. And let's see, we're section 20, near the beginning. If anybody can read which surah that is, I don't know if you can see, but we will begin. Say, O men, I am sent unto you all as the apostle of the real, to whom belongeth the dominions of the heavens and the earth. There is no great mystery but he. It is he that giveth both life and life continuation. So believe in the real, and his apostle, the unlettered prophet who believeth in the real, and his words follow him, that so we may be guided. Of the people of Musa, there is a section who guide and do justice in the light of truth. We divided them into 12 tribes of nations. We directed Musa by inspiration. When his thirsty people asked him for water, strike the rock with thy staff. Out of it there gushed forth 12 springs. Each group knew its own place for water. We gave them the shade of clouds and sent down to them manna and quail, saying, Eat of the good things we have provided for you. But they rebelled. To us they did not know harm, but they harmed their own souls. Yes. And remember, it was said to them, Dwell in this town, and eat therein as ye wish. But say the word of humility, and enter the gate in a posture of humility. We shall forgive you your faults. We shall increase the portion of those who do good. But the transgressors among them change the word from that which has been given them. So we sent on them a plague from heaven, for what they repeatedly transgressed. Ask them concerning the towns standing close by the sea. Behold, they transgressed. In the matter of the Sabbath, for on the day of their Sabbath, their fish did come to them, openly holding up their hands. But on the day they had no Sabbath, they came not. Thus did we make a trial of them, for they were given to transgression. When some of them said, Why do you preach to a people whom the great mystery will destroy or visit with a terrible punishment? Said the preachers, To discharge our duty to your Lord, and perchance they may fear him. When they disregarded the warnings that had been given them, we rescued those who forbade evil. But we visited the wrongdoers with a grievous punishment, because they were given to transgression. When in their insolence they transgressed all prohibitions, we said to them, Be ye apes, despised and rejected. Behold, thy Lord did declare that he would send against them to the day of judgment those who would afflict them with grievous penalty. Thy Lord is quick in retribution, but he is also oft forgiving, most merciful. We broke them up in 2 sections on this earth. There are among them some that are the righteous, some that are the opposite. We have tried them with both prosperity and adversity, in order that they might turn to us. After then succeeded an evil generation. They inherited the true word, but they chose for themselves the vanities of this world, saying for excuse, If anything will be forgiven us, even so if similar vanities came their way, they would again seize them. Was not the covenant of the true word taken from them, that they would not ascribe to the real anything but the truth? And they study what is in the true word. But best for the righteous is the home in the hereafter. Will ye not understand? As to those who hold fast by the true word and establish regular prayer, never shall we suffer the reward of their righteous to perish. When we shook the mountain over them as if it had been a canopy, and they thought it was going to fall on them, we said, Hold firmly to what we have given you, and bring ever to remembrance what is therein, perchance ye may fear the real. Mankind have the nature of good created within them, yet doth the real, by his signs, keep up a constant reminder to men of his holy names. Those who err scarce realize how gradually they fall into sin. Their respite has a term. The doom must come, and it may be on a sudden. So humbly draw nigh to the Lord, declare his glory, and rejoice in his service. When the Lord drew forth from the children of Oscar, the first man and prophet, wife of Emla, the first woman and prophet, made from the ashen elm tree, from their loins, their descendants, and made them testify concerning themselves, saying, Am I not your Lord, who cherishes and sustains you? They said, Yea, we do testify, this lest ye should say of the day of judgment, of this we were never mindful. Or lest ye should say, Our fathers before us, they have taken false gods, but we are their descendants. After them, wilt thou then destroy us because of the deeds of men who are futile? Thus do we explain the signs in detail, and perchance they may turn unto us. Relate to them the story of the man to whom we sent our signs, but he passed them by. So the path of evil followed him up, and he went astray. It had been our will. If it had been our will, we should have alleviated him with our signs. And he inclined to the earth, and followed his own vain desires. His similitude is that of the dog. If you touch him, he kills, he kills out his tongue. If you leave him alone, he still lolls out his tongue. That is the similitude of those who reject our signs. So relate the story. Perchance they may reflect. Evil, as an example, are people who reject our signs and wrong their own souls, whom the real doth guide. He is on the right path, whom he rejects from his guidance. Such are the persons who perish. Many are the jinn and men we have made for hell. They have hearts, wherewith they understand not, eyes wherewith they see not, and earn wherewith they hear not. They are like cattle, they are misguided, for they are heedless of warning. The most beautiful names belong to Allah, so call on him by them. But shun such men as use profanity in his names, for what they do, they will soon be requited. Of those we have created are people who direct others with truth and dispense justice therewith. Those who reject our signs, we will gradually visit with punishment in ways they perceive not. Respite will I grant unto them, for my scheme is strong and unfailing. Do they not reflect their companion? Their companion is not seized with madness. He is but a perspicuous warner. Do they see nothing in the government of the heavens and the earth and all that the Great Spirit hath created? Do they not see that it may well be that their term is nigh, drawing to an end? In what message after this will they then believe? To such as the real rejects. From his guidance there can be no guide. He will leave them in their debts, wandering in destruction. When they ask thee about the final hour, when will be its appointed time? Say the knowledge thereof is that my Lord alone, none but he can reveal as to when it will occur. Heavy when it's burden, though, the heavens and the earth. Only all of a sudden, when it come to you, they ask thee as if thou wert equal to search thereof. Say the knowledge thereof is with the great mystery, the grandfather alone. But most men know not. Say, I have power over any good or harm to myself, except as the real with it willeth. If I had knowledge of the unseen, I should have multiplied all good, and no evil should have touched me. I am but a warner and a bringer of glad tidings to those who have faith. It is he who created you from a single person and made his mate of like nature, in order that he might dwell with her in love. When they are ununited, she bears a light burden and carries it about unnoticed. When she grows heavy, they both pray to the real, their Lord, saying, If thou givest us a goodly child, we vow we shall ever be grateful. But when he giveth them a goodly child, they ascribe to others a share in the gift they have received. But the grandfather is exalted. High above the partners they ascribe to him. Do they indeed ascribe to him as partners things that can create nothing, but are themselves created? No aid can they give them, nor can they aid themselves. If ye call them to guidance, they will not obey. For you it is the same, whether ye call them, or ye hold your peace. Verily those whom ye call upon besides the real are servants like unto you. Call upon them, and let them listen to your prayer. If ye are indeed truthful, have they feet to walk with, or hands to lay hold with, or eyes to see with, or ears to hear with? Say, call your God partners, scheme your worst against me, and give me no respite. For my protector is the real, who revealed the true word. From time to time, and he will choose and befriend the righteous. But those ye call upon besides him are unable to help you, and indeed to help themselves. If thou callest them to guidance, they hear not. Thou wilt see them looking at thee, but they see not. Hold to forgiveness. Command what is right, but turn away from the ignorant. If a suggestion from the path of evil assail thy mind, seek refuge with the real. For he heareth, and he knoweth all things. Those who fear the real, when a thought of evil from the path of evil assaults them, being the great mystery, to remember, bring the great mystery to remembrance, when, lo, they see aright. But their brethren, the evil ones, plunge them deeper into error, and never relax their efforts. If thou bring them not out of revelation, they say, Why hast thou not got it together? Say, I but follow what is revealed to me from my Lord. This is nothing but lights from your Lord, and guidance and mercy for any who have faith. When the Quran is read, listen to it with attention, and hold your peace. Then ye may receive mercy. And do thou, O reader, bring thy Lord to remembrance in thy very soul, with humility and in reverence, without loudness in words, in the mornings and evenings, and be not thou of those who are unheedful, those who are near. To thy Lord disdain not to do him worship. They celebrate his praises and bow down before him. Amen. Amen. Aho. Aho. Amen. This end of the surah. We will continue on to Surah 8. That was the end of Surah 7. Anfal, or the spoils of war. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The name of the real, the most gracious, the most merciful. Here is a little excerpt you can see. When they ask thee concerning things taken as spoils of war, say, such spoils are at the disposal of the real and the apostle, so fear the real and keep straight the relations between themselves. Obey the real and his apostle, if you do believe. For believers are those who, when the real is mentioned, feel a tremor in their hearts, and when they hear his sages rehearsed, find their faith strengthened, and put all their trust in their Lord. Who establish regular prayers and spend freely of the gifts we have given them for sustenance. Such in truth are the believers. They have grades of dignity with their Lord, and forgiveness and generous sustenance. Just as thy Lord ordered thee out of thy house in truth, even though a party among the believers disliked it, disputing with thee concerning the truth after it was made manifest as if they were being drivers to life continuation, and they actually saw it. Behold, the real promised you out of the two enemy parties that it should be yours. Ye wish that the one unarmed should be yours, but the real willed to justify the truth according to his words, and to cut off the roots of the unbelievers, that he might justify truth and prove falsehood false, distasteful though it be to those in guilt. Remember, ye implored the assistance of your Lord, and he answered you, I will assist you with 1,000 of the angels, ranks on ranks. The real made it but a message of hope and an assurance to your hearts. In any case, there is no help except from the real, and the real is exalted in power, wise. Remember, he covered you with a sort of drowsiness, to give you calm as from himself, and he caused you rain to descend on you from heaven, to clean you therewith, to remove from you the stain of the path of evil, to strengthen your hearts, to plant your feet firmly therewith. Remember thy Lord inspired the angels with the message, I am with you. Give firmness to the believers. I will instill terror into the hearts of the unbelievers. Smite ye above your necks, and smite all their fingertips off them. This because they contended against the real and his apostle. If they contend against the real and his apostle, the real is strict in punishment. Thus will it be said, taste ye then of the punishment. For those who resist the real is the penalty of the fire. O ye who believe, when ye meet the believers in hostile array, never turn your backs to them. If any do turn his back to them on such a day, unless it be in a stratagem of war, or to retreat to a troop of his own, he draws on himself the wrath of the great mystery, and his abode is hell, an evil refuge indeed. It is not ye who slew them, it was the real. When thou When thou when thou threwest a handful of dust, it was not thy act, but the reels, in order that he might test the oh, stuck for la, ironically, he might test the believers. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get this stuck for la. Ironically. Give me a moment. Something in my nose. Yeah. Where were we? Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh that. Lamicala. Let's see. Where were we? Oh yes. Thy act but the rails, in order that he might test the believers by a gracious trial from himself. For the real is he who heareth and knoweth all things. That, and also because the real is he who makes feeble the plans and stratagems of the unbelievers. O unbelievers, if ye prayed for victory and judgment, now hath the judgment come to you. If ye desist from wrong, it will be best for you. If ye return to the attack, so shall we. Not the least good will your forces be to you, even if they were multiplied. For verily the real is with those who believe. Be ready to believe the real's call, and to build all else on aught. He will give you the light, turn away all evil from you, and forgive you your sins and shortcomings. Ever keep in remembrance his mercies and grace. The godless may try to keep men from the real, but they will not thrive. They will be buried together to destruction. And we will swim it. Yes, I think we will stop there for now. There is one surah I want to recite for you from part 30 of the Holy Quran. It's surah, what is it called? Hold on a second. Surah Infitar. Surah Infitar. Surah Al-Infitar. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا السماء انفطرت وإذا الكواكب انتثرت وإذا البحار فجرت وإذا القبور بثرت علمت نفس ما قدمت والآخرات يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك قلب التكاذب نابدين وإنا إليكم لحافظين كراما كاتبون يعلمون ما تفعلون إن أبرار لفي نعيم وإن الفجار لفي جحيم يصلونها يوم الدين وما هم عنها بغائبين وما أدراك ما يوم الدين ثم ما أدراك ما يوم الدين يوم لا تملك نفس لنفس شيئا والأمر يومئذ لله. Amen. And then he goes, in the name of the real, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful, when the sky is cleft asunder, when the stars are scattered, when the oceans are suffered to burst forth, when the graves are turned upside down, then shall each soul know what it has been sent for and what it has been kept back. O man, what has seduced you from your Lord the most beneficent? Him who created you, fashioned you in due proportions, and gave you a just bias. In whatever form he wills, does he put you together? No, but you do reject right and judgment. But truly over you are appointed angels to protect you, kind and honorable, writing down your deeds. They know and understand all that you do. As for the righteous, they will be in bliss, and the wicked, they will be in fire, which they will enter on the day of judgment, and they will not be able to keep away from it. And what will explain to you what the day of judgment is? Again, what will explain to you what the day of judgment is? It will be the day when no soul shall have power to do anything for another, for the command that they will be holy with Allah. Amin. That was Surat Al-Intifar. That is all for today. I will see you next time, inshallah. Have a good Eve of Tibetan Losar, New Year. Water Tiger.